The college football experience week 7 DFS show on the Sports Gambling Podcast Networks presented by WynnBet. Bet $100 at WynnBet and get $100 free bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today.
Hey, what's up, you degenerate gamblers? This is Bill Burr, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo-wee. Welcome to the college football experience week 7 DFS show. I'm excited. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I smoke and I drink and I don't have stress and I'm healthy.
I am healthy. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Amari Walker who says, thanks for going live. That's right. Let's go. And, this is the DFS show, the FCS show coming later tonight. But, I will say I'm going to jinx this. And I guess let me introduce the DFS god himself. He has a great column that is up at sportsgamblingpodcast.com, or if you get the SGPN app, which is free to download in the App Store and Google Play Store, you'll have access to it all. The DFS god himself. Give it up for the rooftop IPA drinking, homebrew making, tobacco road living, the free lock giving, former Herndon Basketball League MVP. Give it up for NC Nick in the place to be.
Bam! There we go. DFS week 7, midway point of the college football season. 3802er. What's up, Nick? The Pick Dant in the house.
There we go. Week 7 DFS. Week 7 DFS. Yeah. I'm sweating a big one right now because so right now I'm sweating out. I'm going to lose this because I'm going to talk about this. I made the decision to talk about it right now, which means I will lose. Currently in 12th place for a shot at $2,900 in the first half of the DFS slate for Thursday. Currently in 12th place out of a shit ton of people. How many people are in this thing?
I thought you were in 5th place.
No, 12th place.
Oh.
12th place. But hey, good money here. Maybe that just changed. I don't know. Maybe I told you I was at 5th place 10 minutes ago.
I thought both games are at halftime right now.
No, I'm watching the West Virginia game right here, right now. So if you're talking and I just happen to celebrate as Tony Mathis has a 10-yard run, let's go. How you doing though, buddy? You ready to talk Friday DFS? We got a few games. I really wish they would get the FCS game on the slate. I mean, who cares? It's still Division I college football. Put it on the fucking slate.
Be nice to have 3 games instead of 2.
Yeah.
I agree. But before we go into this week, let's quick recap of last week. Last Friday night, RR Bowl Jr. 6866. We've been calling his name a lot lately. He took home first place. Our guy B Fur 54, another very sharp DFS player, took home second place. What was our side bet in that matchup? You know what? You won the side bet. It was the battle of the both guys that were only bottom dollar 3,000. You took Brown, the 5th, the freshman running back for Rutgers, who had a decent game. He looks legit too.
He is good. It's a damn shame. And Rutgers fires their OC this past week, but like if they could throw the forward pass and just get a little more creative on offense, I think that guy could be good for them.
So he beat my receiver for Colorado State, Ross Simmons, and Colorado State had like 50 yards passing or something the whole game.
Yeah.
So what was our record?
Can't take a guy named Ross. All right.
That's true. Last name Ross Simmons it's hyphenated. I think his first name's Justin, I want to say. But what was our record coming into it? Like 8-3? I was up.
Something like that, buddy. All right.
We'll say
You're
8-4.
You're supposed to keep track
of this shit?
Yeah.
Good luck with that. I got too much going on here. Let's see. So the main slate on Saturday, I finished third. Couldn't quite get in the money. Our guy, Jamie, 8238. Another weekly winner came in first, and I just mentioned him. RR Bold Jr. 6866 came in second in the money. The side bet here didn't count because Jelon Daniels got hurt for you. So the same thing with Smith Najigba in week one.
So now we're even on that.
Now we're even because Max Dugan put up 37 and changed fantasy points. I got a feeling he might have won that side.
I don't know, buddy, because I think Kansas would have won that game. Kansas would have won that game because the ground attack went bye-bye after now Bean played well throwing the ball, but the ground attack took a huge hit in that game. So I don't know. I think your little Pepsi challenge, you would have lost that one.
Unfortunately, we'll never know. Moving on to the night slate. You know who took home the crown?
Who's that?
Yours truly. Number one. I won the night slate, and our guy RR Bold Jr. 6866. He came in second. So that dude was in the money in all three slates. Congrats to him. Well done. As far as our side bet, let's see what that was. Boom, boom, boom. You know what? You won it. You had one of the Wake Forest running backs. I don't know which one, but they put up 15 and 16 points, and I had the Notre Dame running back Estimi who put up 12. So you were 2-0. You were 2-0 in side bets, 2-0. That gets us to what? 8-5 total for the season. So all right, man, let's do this.
I'm coming back, baby. Let's go. I'm in currently 12th place. 12th place.
There we go.
Let's fucking go. Let's talk Friday action because you know what it is though. I feel like sometimes, and this will be my excuse. All right. Sometimes I'm just creating so much fucking content, right? That I don't actually pull up all the numbers and really number crunch my rosters.
Are you saying you have this week?
Freedom. I had the freedom to do that this week. I had the freedom to do that this week.
All right.
I met a wife's anniversary. I was out of town, sitting by a pool for a little bit. I got a little. All right, let's go. Let's go.
I love it. I love it. So we got two games Friday night: Navy SMU over under 57, UTSA FIU over under 63. We're gonna have some similarities with just two games. Just total 4 teams. My top quarterback is Tanner Mordecai, 7.9K.
You know, I couldn't do it. You know, here's my logic on not doing it. The last time I rostered this bastard, Preston Stone came in.
He did not have a great game against UCF.
It is a very short leash though, because Preston Stone's their biggest recruit in the history of SMU. Which I beg to differ. I know they say that. I tend to think it was Eric Dickerson, but they say since they've been charting recruits, that would be their top guy.
Well, let me ask you this then. Did you go 2 quarterbacks?
I did.
Wow. Okay. So let's just we both have Frank Harris for only 6.8K, right?
That is correct. Frank motherfucking Harris. This is my guy.
I mean, dude.
This is my guy.
He's gonna be 100% owned.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's averaging 33 fantasy points a game. They're playing the airport, and he's only 6.8K. So everybody's gonna roster Harris. You have to. So that's not gonna help you win at all. But you basically have to. So who's your other quarterback? Did you go the Navy QB?
Yes, I did.
Triple option fan himself.
Ty Lavatai, baby.
Okay.
And look, they lull you to sleep, and then there is always big opportunity. He might only complete 4 passes, but 2 of them might be touchdowns, and that speaks fantasy points. All right. I'm concerned about this though. Yeah, they're calling for rain at the airport. Calling for rain, which makes me think maybe I should switch to Mordecai, but is that concerning?
The problem with Lavatai is that he hasn't been producing as far as fantasy wise this year. His highest game has been 17 fantasy points. So every week, every 5 games, he's been between 11 and 17 fantasy points. I mean, his price is only 5.4K, so that's not bad given his price. And I'm just saying it appears he has a pretty low ceiling.
I would argue with a defense that is this bad. You look at the Navy schedule. Delaware and the FCS, good defensive team. I think Memphis would be the weakest of the defenses. And I still feel like Lavatai hadn't upped his game yet. They were having some problems the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a shot. I'm going to take a shot on Lavatai getting some heavy yards on the ground against SMU. What are they? The 103rd ranked rush defense or total defense, 103rd.
Something like that, right? I think it was 103rd rushing defense, if I remember correctly from our picks pod last night. Go check that out if you didn't catch it live.
Pick every FBS game and remember the FCS show coming in a bit.
That's right. I went 3 running backs. You?
I did not. Only 2.
Woo, okay, so and I went cheap here with the running backs, and I know what's your top running back for UTSA? Bradley, Brendan Brady.
Yeah.
Did you roster him?
You know, I did, and I hesitated because Traylon Smith, the Arkansas transfer, is back, and I was like, but I'll say this: knowing that it's in more rain, I should say, kind of like the possibility of playing Smith, Bradley. And another back, but
by far UTSA has the highest implied total of the 4 teams. But I was kind of thinking along the same as you. I didn't roster Brady. I think UTSA might be up big early, and if so, why not give your main running back some time off? No reason to run him into the ground. So I did roster Traylon Smith for 4.5K. He's gotten double-digit carries last couple of games, so it's not like.
Well, I mean, he was the projected starter.
Exactly.
He was the projected starter before he got transferred.
And Brady's a good running back. Brady's he's a load to bring down. He's clearly the top dog there, but Traylon Smith isn't that far behind, and I just think it's time for him to get more carries in this game because it definitely has blowout potential.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to stick with Brady just because he's my guy.
Okay.
He's won me games. He's won me some of the bottle of bourbon. Got to roll with him. But my second running back is Lexington Steele. Lexington Steele Joseph. Look, especially knowing this game's going to be in the rain.
Yeah.
I think both teams are going to, and I think Mike McIntyre's blueprint for staying around in this game is the clock. Suck that clock. And how do you suck a clock? You hand the ball off. You hand the ball off to Lexington Steele Joseph. All right. So I'm gonna ride with. Did you ride with Joseph?
No, I didn't have enough money. So I like to play though. Let's just say he'll be in one of my lineups, but not this one. He is maybe the lone bright spot on the FIU offense. So you have to worry about game script and they're going to be blown out if they can even run the ball whatsoever. But the guy does make plays when he has the ball in his hands. No, I went very cheap with running backs. My second running back is 4.1K. I will take you to Daba Fofana of the Navy Midshipmen. You never know who's going to get the rock, but
it's a gamble.
He did just take 21 carries for 159 yards and 3 touchdowns against Tulsa. So maybe give him some carries, and he's only 4.1K. So Daba Fofana for Navy, I'm going to take a shot in the dark on.
You've talked me into a change. I'm getting rid of Beefo Brady. the running back for UTSA, because I think they might be up 31-0 at the end of the first quarter. I think the Navy SMU game is going to be close. So Trey Siggers, the North Texas transfer, he's playing good. They get him the ball a lot. That's my running back now. Siggers and Joseph.
Okay, I like it. I'm gonna go with the other running back. I'm gonna go with the Kansas transfer, Velton Gardner. He may be better than Siggers, and he's only 3.5K. Coming off that game against UCF, he was more effective against UCF, 12 for 69 and a touchdown.
He is a better power back than Siggers, but Siggers, this is what he did in North Texas too, is he's kind of he fits Lashley's offense a little more, going out in patterns and catching balls and stuff. Kind of like the transfer Ulysses Bentley. So I'm going to take a shot on Siggers though. Is that our battle?
What is Siggers' price tag?
$5,800.
Dude, he's 2.3K more expensive.
All right, Lexington Steel. You want to battle then?
No, because a lot more expensive. Also,
4.9
over somebody who's 3.5. That's a pretty wide gap.
Well, don't roster guys that are 3.5.
Now, if you want to go Traylon Smith against Lexington Steel, then I'm game. Traylon Smith is 4.5K. That they're in the same ballpark. That's a fair bet.
Okay, let's go. Lexington Steel against Trayvon Smith or Traylon Smith. Traylon Smith. Jesus.
All right. Moving on to receivers. You have one more than me, so why don't you do the honors?
Well, I'll be honest. Me looking up the rain report right now, or the weather in the rain report, make
it rain
in Miami.
We should call that should be the title of our DFS pod. The rain report.
I like that. Well, I am a bit concerned now about my whole fucking lineup, because I went heavy on two absolute beast. The UTSA wide receiver, dude, I'll be honest. I think UTSA, I said this on last night's show, I think they're the best group of five. I would put them ahead of Cincinnati. I would put them ahead of James Madison.
They're definitely in the top five.
Their receiving core is filthy.
Nasty.
Yeah. So I went for, I doubled up. I went with my guy, Joshua Cephas. And then at the same time, I did Zachary Franklin. Both are beasts. Both are the top two wideouts from a reception standpoint. I know DeCorian Clark leads the team in yardage and touchdowns, but Franklin's got 6 touchdowns. Cephas got 2 touchdowns. He's also thrown a touchdown, I believe. Right. So
and Cephas also gets the ball on like end arounds and reverses, but played that song twice because I rostered both those guys as well.
So let's how about that? The Roadrunners. Are we at all scared off of that because of the weather?
I'm not looking at the weather yet. I mean, usually that's one of the last things I do, like Saturday morning. And unless a little bit of rain, unless they're calling for a freaking hurricane to come through.
It is Miami.
It's possible, but no, I haven't looked into it yet. I'm fine right now.
All right. So we are rostering Joshua Cephas and Zachary Franklin. Both are ballers. And UTSA should be rolling. Now, the same situation that they might pull those guys because you don't want to risk them getting injured against the airport. They could beat the airport with me at wide receiver, probably.
Are you not rostering Rashee Rice?
No, I am.
You are.
Oh, of course.
Oh, well, same here.
Okay.
I didn't know if you had enough money for him. 8.5K.
Yes. Rashee Rice, that guy's a fucking beast. I'm convinced it's Jerry Rice's son. All right.
Especially on a slate with not too many like standout guys. You got to get a receiver that's guaranteed production every week. I mean, look at some of the games this year. 12 for 122, 11 for 193. Yeah, I love my 3 receivers with the 2 guys from UTSA and Rice. Yeah, granted, a lot of people may be rostering those guys, but bring it on. I'm going to be one of them.
I have so basically I only have to give away one more player and I'm done with my Friday night lineup. Are you done completely?
My lineup is done.
All right.
Plowing through it.
Well, let me tell you, there's a guy that I rostered last week for pretty cheap and he lit it up for me. And I think they are going to tend to go to him more and more. I'm talking about SMU's wide receiver Moochie Dixon. 13 catches, 155 yards, and 2 scores on the season. He's been getting more and more reps. Rashee Rice has 46 catches. The closest guy to catches on this team is Moochie Dixon at 13. And guess what? He wasn't even a part of they were barely working this kid in the first game or two. So
he's just due to all the injuries. It's due to Jake Bailey being out, and Curley I think is out. So a lot of injuries with the SMU receivers. So I like the play. It makes sense.
Coming on a little bit, buddy. Coming on a little bit.
I like it.
Moochie Dixon, 3,900. Let's go. And that is my Friday night roster. All right. So our bottle of bourbon is already figured out.
That's right. Move on to the main slate.
But before I get there, I want to tell folks out there that the College Football Experience Week 7 DFS show is brought to you by WinBet. Bet $100 at WinBet and get $100 free bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WinBet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. We're also brought to you by Fubo TV. If you watch football, you need Fubo TV. Fubo TV gives you complete coverage of college and pro football with NFL Red Zone. They got games in 4K also at no extra charge. There's over 100 channels of live sports and entertainment for a fraction of the price of cable. You can watch it on all your devices. Never miss a game. Never miss an episode of your favorite TV show because they can give you included cloud-based DVR. Plus, there's no contract. There's no commitment. You can cancel at any time. Right now, you can try Fubo TV for free for 7 days and get 15% off your first month. Just go to FuboTV.com/SGP. That's FUBOTV.com/SGP. All right, we are back on the DFS show, getting ready to dive into Saturday morning. Hey, I mean, I actually had fun with all these lineups.
Dude, the quarterbacks in the main slate are crazy because I can't remember a slate where there's so many like attractive low dollar options. Like, let me just rattle through some, and maybe you've rostered some of these guys, maybe I have, but I mean, you can get before last week it'd be a joke, but you can get Graham Mertz for 5.3K. Now, usually
still a joke to me,
but they do play Michigan State.
That's true. That's true.
And he did throw for 305 touchdowns last week. 5.3K. You can get Quinn Ewers for 5.7K. Not a great matchup against Iowa State, but Ewers looks like the real deal.
That's a good point.
You can get Garrett Schrader for 6K, the Shredder. Again, NC State's got a pretty good defense, but 6K with a dual threat like that coming off of a bye. I mean, you can get Curtis Rourke. Dude, I love the fact that the platform we are using, which people can assume what it is, that they threw in Ohio versus Western Michigan in the main slate. And I love some of the options for the Bobcats. One of them is Curtis Rourke, who's averaging 28 fantasy points a game for 6.2K. Or how about KJ Jefferson if he's healthy for 6.4K?
That's the gamble, I think. That's the gamble. But you make a great point. I have a great team. It's going to beat the tar out of yours.
Well, do the honors then, buddy.
Remember to come play DFS with us. Oh man, Blake Shapen just pulled this Dylan Gabriel bullshit. The late slide, the abrupt slide, and he just got rocked. Nonsense to throw the penalty flag on that. Yeah. So by the way, come play DFS with us. We tweet this out at TCE on SGPN. So check that out as well. You are invited to come play with us. Look at this. Are you watching this game? Look at this abrupt slide. I don't have
it on right now.
Okay. Last second, he just jumps
my whole
down.
Attention is going into this podcast.
Yeah. He's bothering the shit out of me with this 2022 bullshit football.
Meanwhile, it looks like UCF's going to cover for us. You were on UCF, right?
I was on the very Golden Knights. So let's hop into it. My quarterback, son of Mickey Rourke, I like to think. So give me Curtis Rourke, the legend for the Ohio Bobcats. And I did roster 2 quarterbacks.
I did too. And one of them was also Curtis Rourke for me.
You sandbagging. Curtis Rourke in the name of Mickey Rourke before the drugs and the plastic surgery. Right?
Western Michigan has the 81st defense against the pass.
Yes.
And Rourke's been slinging it, man. He already has 2 games over 35 fantasy points and was over 50 fantasy points in the game against Fordham. So Curtis Rourke might be a better passer than his older brother, who's playing in the CFL these days, I believe.
BC Lions represent.
That's right.
Listen, subscribe to the CFL Gambling
What's
Podcast.
his name again? What's his older brother's name again?
Nathan Rourke.
Nathan Rourke. There you go.
He is a MAC legend. A MAC legend. All right. So my second quarterback, I'm taking you to Fort Worth, Texas. Max motherfucking Duggan.
I like it.
You know, he's a dual threat capable quarterback. And I'm not all the way on board. I know you took OK State. I'm on TCU. I think they're for real. Max Duggan, this offense is explosive. He will prove it again Saturday. So at $8,000, I'm taking Max Duggan.
Can't argue with that, man. I mean, that game has an over/under of 68.5, one of the highest on the slate. Let me take a quick look here. That might be the highest. I think it is. I think that is the highest. Yep. Yes, it is. So yeah, it makes sense to get pieces of that game, starting with the quarterback. So I like it, but I went with the guy I just mentioned, and obviously I'm going to wait and see, make sure he's healthy, but I like KJ Jefferson up at BYU. I'm not afraid of the BYU passing defense whatsoever. And if KJ Jefferson is healthy, he was crushing it this year to begin with. I like it. I like a big day for the Arkansas offense in general. So KJ Jefferson, if he's healthy. If not, I got some money to play around with maybe one of those other quarterbacks I mentioned.
Yeah, you're not concerned about the altitude. I always feel like players get injured more up in high altitude. I don't know if that is scientifically proven, but that's my theory.
I haven't seen the evidence.
Okay. At running back. Well, I only went 2 running backs. See, you thought you knew
again.
Me. You thought you fucking knew me.
Turned.
Yes.
I went 3, so let me do the honors here. I love Jahmyr Gibbs, Alabama, 7.9K this week against Tennessee.
Yes, the tide truly turned because I played one of the Tide's best offensive weapons, and that is Jahmyr Gibbs. You turncoat bastard for leaving Georgia Tech. You could be winning the Coastal right now. Instead,
I don't know what they were doing to begin the year where he was only getting, maybe 9-10 carries a game. They finally, Saban wised up. The last 2 weeks, 18 for 206 and 2 touchdowns and 21 for 154 against A&M. Again, the Tennessee defense, especially with the quarterback issues with Alabama, who's healthy, who's going to play, they're going to feed Gibbs early and often. He should have a monster day.
And I feel like in that Texas game, he had like 30 catches. 30 targets, 15 catches or something. It was something insane like that.
He had 9 catches for 74 yards that game. So he's been average. He has had 22 catches on the year. So he's averaging, like 3.5 catches per game, which is just gravy on top of what he's going to do running the ball.
Yeah. So that is so we are seeing eye to eye here. So give me your second running back then.
I'm going to go Chase Brown. Dude, all he does is get 20 plus carries for over 100 yards and at least a touchdown. And given there might be some quarterback issues, he's just going to get fed even more. So strictly volume play. He might not have the most efficient day, but he's one of the best running backs in the country. And he's 7.2K, which it's affordable. That's a good price for him.
I like it. I just wonder about Satowski effect. Do they load the box against Brown and make Satowski throw a 7-yard pass? I think they might. And they
should.
Yes.
They definitely should, but I still think Chase Brown's going to get his. He's that good.
If they called 1-800-PICK, so if Minnesota PJ Fleck called 1-800-PICK Dundee, that's what I would tell them. I would say, let's do that. Okay. So my second and last and final running back, we'll change horses midstream. If anything, Kai Thomas is dinged up. Heshaw is out. And I think they're going to run more to their running backs because Jason Bean is not the runner Jalen Daniels is. So Devin Neal, 5,700. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, he didn't have that great of a game last week. Now, granted, he had 15 carries for 88 yards. I guess his problem was he didn't score or he only had one catch. Not a bad day, but he didn't crack 10 fantasy points. They are playing Oklahoma this week. It makes a lot of sense. I'm not going to argue with that. Do you have any money left over, though?
$200.
Well, that wouldn't be enough, but no, nowhere near enough, actually. I like the play. No qualms here, especially with Heshaw not playing. Heshaw, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
My last guy, another Razorback. I think the guy they call Rocket Man.
He's a
if you
fucking
want to
beast.
sing a little Elton John here. Dude, he was putting up numbers against the last 3 weeks. A&M, Bama, Mississippi State. Now he has BYU's shaky run defense coming to town. I like
Gonna need an oxygen
Panthers.
tank. Gonna need an oxygen tank, but yes, dude's a fucking
They'll have
beast.
it on the bench. So give me Raheem Sanders 6.5K. I love my running backs on the slate.
It's a solid play. But once again, I just wanted a piece of fading the Oklahoma defense. That's something you're not just going to be able to fix. You're just not going to be able to fix that defense until next year, maybe. Next up, wide receiver. So I got I loaded up with 4 wideouts. You know who my most expensive wideout is, buddy?
Who's your top dog?
I'm taking you to Kalamazoo. Get that liquor pitcher. Yeah, what the fuck was the name of that bar?
Oh man, what was it? Like Brady's or
I forget. Get that liquor pitcher, get fucked up, and watch as my guy Corey Crooms, who has 11 more catches than the next wideout. Oh, and I don't know if you got a chance. I watched Fordham play Ohio on God's Eye.
Oh, Ohio's pass defense is one of the worst in the nation.
Fordham threw for like Tim DeMore threw for like 500. So I think Jack's salad pack is going to
Jack salad shooter.
Corey Crooms though at 6,600. I want pieces of this game.
I like it. So not my most expensive receiver, but he's in the same game, so I might as well mention him. On the other side, stack him up with Rourke, Sam Wiglues. Did you roster him, the Ohio receiver? Did you?
Yes. Great name. I love the Mac. Sam Wiglues.
I don't know how to pronounce that, man.
All these names are fantastic.
But dude,
get Wiglues the fucking ball.
First off, the last 2 games, he's had 70+ yard touchdowns. Last week it was 7 for 144, 2 touchdowns. The week before that, 6 for 115. Week before that, 10 for 73. Sign me up. I love this game because it makes no sense. Like, DraftKings, I'm going to say, I'll just say it once. They would never put a MAC game. I mean, they could have picked so many other games here. I mean, like, there's
this
like Power 5. I don't understand. They chose this game over Miami, Virginia Tech. Or no, actually, that's
on there. I think.
Yeah,
I didn't want any piece of that.
There.
Yeah.
But somehow they threw this one on there, and I think I'm gonna have some pieces of this game because it's the wacky Mac, and there should be points.
I got Wiglues. I got Crooms. I mean, Salad Pack's going to be able to throw the ball all over the field.
I like
this
it.
is going to be a great matchup here. All right, so give me your next wideout because.
All right, so I'm going to take you back to Graham Mertz's number 1 target, and yes, Shamari DK is 5.6K, the Wisconsin receiver who caught 10 for 185 and 3 touchdowns last week. Granted, he's not going to do that every week. He probably won't get anywhere near that this week. But even the week before that, he went 5 for 76. So I think Jim Leonard wants to open up this Wisconsin offense a little bit. They want to throw the ball some. What better defense to throw the ball against than Michigan State's, porous secondary? So I like DK for 5.6K.
That is a ballsy play to go with a Wisconsin wide receiver. I like it because hey, Jim Leonard, all of a sudden they look like the Eric Coryell's fucking San Diego Chargers with Charlie Joyner and Wes Chandler.
It'd be ballsy if he was like
yeah.
7K. I mean, he's only 5.6K. I think that's a fair price for a gamble on a guy who's performed well the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. All right, my third highest paid wide receiver, Cedric Tillman, is out. Brew motherfucking McCoy, can he live up to the 5-star hype? This is a game where I think he could really shell out. He was a 5-star recruit. If you remember, he went to Texas. No. I'm going. Then he goes to USC. No. Then he ends up at Tennessee. All right. This is the game. This is the game where he could come out. This could be that party, So
look, in the 2 games with Tillman gone, he's gone for 5 for 102 and a touchdown and 7 for 140. He's been more effective than Jalen Hyatt, who's at 6.9K. So I like to play with Brew McCoy. I was trying to fit him in here somewhere. He'll be in one lineup of mine. Not this one, though. My last guy, talking about bad secondaries. How about Arkansas?
Oh, yeah.
Did you read the report today that the pit master just moved a couple receivers into the secondary because they're so banged up?
I did not, but I'm curious if you played my guy here.
I'm going Cody Epps for 4.1K.
Okay, well, makes sense. I am on Puka Nacua at 4.6K. And I think that's our bottle of bourbon, right?
Yeah, I'm down with that. I'm a big Puka Nacua fan. I just don't know if he's healthy. Like, he's come back a couple times, went back out. I'm a fan of his, but I don't know his health status. That's too big of a gamble for me. With Cody Epps, he's cheaper, and he's scored touchdowns in 4 straight games against Notre Dame last week, 4 for 100 and 2 touchdowns. I like the sound of that. So give me Cody Epps, and if that's our bet, I'm more than willing to participate and throw down with your punk ass.
Let's go, because he barely played in the Notre Dame game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the logic here. He's born and raised Provo, Utah, and an SEC team is coming in there for only the second time, I think, in the past 22 years.
I like it.
He's going to fucking play.
I'm just worried about his health. So if he plays, I love that fact that he gets a lot of like reverses and stuff. He's just a playmaker. So he's a baller. If he's fully healthy, you might have the better end of that bet, but I like my chances because I don't think he's been fully healthy all year.
Yeah, let's go. We'll see. I think he's ready to go. I think he's ready to go. And I think this game is important for BYU.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, that's my lineup. Mine's better than yours once again. And let's go to Saturday night slate. But before we do that, I want to tell you folks out there that the College Football Experience Week 7 DFS show on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It's brought to you by OddsTrader. OddsTrader is a place to compare odds from all the major sports books. You can also compare the different sign-up codes and promo codes from sportsbook to sportsbook to assure yourself that you get yourself the best motherfucking deal. All right. So do that. And it also has a bet tracker so bettors can keep records of all your games and betting activity. Go to oddstrader.com/bluewire. OddsTrader, the #1 site for all your game day bets. All right. We are back. This is what's hilarious. We just got a text from Patty C on our group text saying, man, that hit by the West Virginia DB on the Baylor QB was a fucking great hit. I agree. And it was nonsense. They ended up calling targeting too, because he slid, because he's defenseless. It's such a ridiculous. We got to fix that. We really need to fix that rule. The late slide is a bunch of bullshit. He was already. Yeah. Well, we'll see. Go West Virginia. I hope Baylor fucking loses for pulling that nonsense cockamamie stuff that should never happen on the football field. What should happen on the football field, though, is me dominating the nighttime slate. Once again, we invite you to come play. Just give us a follow at TCE on SGPN and or NC Nick's personal account at NC__NICK. Let's get to Saturday night.
Let's do it.
What'd you think of this lineup?
I like it, man. I think a lot of I went very low dollar with the quarterbacks because I thought there was some very intriguing cheap options at quarterback. So I like my lineup here. How about yourself?
Oh yeah, I really like it, and I think there's some opportunity for some, dude, I've liked all three of these lineups. First time I think I can say that all year.
Really?
I liked every single lineup.
I expect a big weekend from you. Who's your top quarterback?
My top quarterback. I am taking you. Well, let me just tell you something about the.
Holton Ahlers.
I'm not sold on Memphis being a good passing attack. I'm sorry, a good defense from a pass defense point of view and a rush. A good defense in general. I get it. You can pull up some stats in certain games. I believe they held Temple to 3 points. Blah 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 blah. All right. Houston got whatever they wanted late in that game, and I think ECU is better than Houston, especially on the offensive side of the ball. I think they're going to have opportunity to get big plays. This is in Greenville too. This place is going to be bonkers. It's a sellout. I know I talked about this yesterday. Number one attendance in all the group of 5 is East Carolina. And that is why you should be taking. Memphis has the 97th ranked defense. And I believe that's a little bit of fool's gold because they played a fucking an FCS and Temple in there. Come on. In Greenville, this place is going to be rocking. Give me Holton Ahlers 5,900 as my highest priced quarterback. I bargain shopped all day.
I did the same. I didn't take Ahlers though. It makes a lot of sense. I think he could have a big day. I went a little bit more expensive. I went Drake May for 6.6K. Dude, he's averaging 36 fantasy points a game and he's 6.6K. I don't get it.
Sam who? Who?
Yeah, I mean, look, I know Elko, the new Duke coach, is a defensive coordinator, a very good one. And he might be able to throw some stuff at him to try to limit UNC, but you're not really limiting this UNC offense. They're going to get theirs. Drake May is going to get his with his arms and his legs, and he's dirt cheap. I'm surprised you didn't roster him.
Well, I thought about it, but then I thought, you know what? When I saw Holton Ahlers cheaper, and I thought, hey, look, we don't know if the Duke game is going to be rocking. Greenville will be rocking. And
well, it's at Duke, so I mean, it won't be rocking for UNC that much. It won't be rocking that much in general. Let's face it.
Well, I went on the other side of that as my second quarterback. I went with the great Riley Leonard.
Okay.
Look, I've seen UNC's defense. They say, Gene Chizik's improved the defense some, and he may have, but they're not that improved. So I'm going to take Riley Leonard to score. Oh, son of a bitch, dude. See, this is what I'm talking about. WVU's backup running back. It's a 25-yard touchdown run.
He's on my DFS lineup.
Thought Justin it was my Johnson. Guy. Thought it was my guy.
Dude, Justin Johnson. All of a sudden, West Virginia's loaded with running backs.
Yeah. What's his name's out?
Donaldson's out.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I liked what I saw from Justin Johnson in the last week, or maybe it was a Virginia Tech game. So I rostered him this week. So hell yeah, nice. I got to check my thing here, see where I'm at. But dude, hilarious because I also rostered a quarterback at 5.8K, but it's not Riley Leonard. I'm going.
This is our battle of bourbon, then, huh?
Sounds good. I'm going Aiden O'Connell. Purdue is at home playing Nebraska's defense.
Yeah.
And look,
this is a good bet.
It is a good bet. O'Connell was banged up against Minnesota, had a bad game last week. More healthier, put up 20 fantasy points against Maryland. I think Purdue's offense is going to do whatever they want against Nebraska. So
this is a great bet because I had Aiden O'Connell in there.
Perfect.
And look, I got rid of him because I said Nebraska's weakness is run defense, not pass defense. So I was like, but then Jeff Brom doesn't give a shit sometimes. He believes in passing the ball. So I was like, and then I was like, well, North Carolina's defense made every quarterback look good. So I was like, I guess I'll go Leonard, but this is a great bottle of bourbon because I had O'Connell in there penciled in.
I love it. Let's do it.
What'd you go with running backs? What? Did you go with 3?
I got 3. Yourself?
3. It's my only roster with 3.
And my top running back, he doesn't have a great matchup here, but I found I had extra money, so I had to spend it on something. And USC's Travis Dye is just crushing it. I mean, 4 out of 6 games. He's gonna catch a bunch of balls. I mean,
if you listen to me and Patty C in the studios, I mean, there's no way to do that, but
right.
He's like my most disliked player in college football.
How come?
Because he goes from Oregon, the team that played from the Pac-12 championship, to USC.
True.
It's like
there was
at least
a coaching change though with Oregon.
Still, They're they've how many different coaches have taken them to the Pac-12 championship?
Well,
Like
you might
it's
not
the
like
ultimate
him.
bitch.
You
Yeah,
might not like
ultimate
him,
bitch
but
move. Yeah,
you know he's a good running back.
yeah, he is very good. But it did like more so than Jermaine Burton leaving Georgia for Bama. This one is worse. This one is worse because at
They
least
just
like
played each other in the championship. How's that work?
I know, but Georgia doesn't commit to the pass enough. So you're like, okay, receiver wants to get the ball more. This one, it's like Oregon ran the ball all season last year, right?
Okay, all right, I'm seeing your point.
This one's like, why would you do that?
Well, Oregon only committed to die after the other running back got hurt. What was his name?
CJ Verdell.
Verdell. So it almost like, he wasn't getting the love until he was needed. I don't know, but that had anything to do with it? Probably not. I don't know. I don't care. All I know is that he's a good running back. Give me some fantasy points, and I don't give a shit, man. So that's my top running back. Who's yours?
My top running back. This Baylor West Virginia game's awesome, by the way. Right now, 31-31 going back and forth.
Should be able to wrap this up right in time for the fourth quarter. So, what you got? Back to ECU.
You know who the fastest player is in college football? All D1 college football. It is ECU running back Keaton Mitchell.
Was he banged up? Is he good?
He was banged up. He played last week though, but he missed the game before. But guess what? Their other running back that got a shit ton of carries, Rashee Harris, is out for the season. So I think Keaton Mitchell is going to have. He also has 11 catches on the season, and remember he missed some time. Keaton Mitchell, 6,400. He's going to run wild on this defense.
It wouldn't be a DFS spot if Colby doesn't lock up or stack up a running back and quarterback combo. Okay, I like it. My second running back, and he lost me our side bet last week, but I'm still a believer in Aldrick Estime, the Notre Dame running back. And he had 14 for 97.
I got him too.
So not a great day because he didn't find the end zone, but dude, he is a bulldozer.
Stanford's thin
sucks.
too. Yeah, they're thin on the D line.
Exactly. I love the play here at 5.6K. And then let me just roll on to the next one because it kind of goes into what you were saying about Nebraska. I'm going with Purdue's running back. They've had a lot of injuries in their backfield. I like what Devin Maccabee is doing for 4.5K. When he against Minnesota, he had 11 for 112 and a touchdown. Last week, he also scored a touchdown. He has 4 on the year. And King Daru is hurt, and I think the other running back is banged up too. I can't think of his name right now, but yeah. I'm going to get pieces of Purdue, and I think it's dirt cheap here to get Maccabee.
I think Kobe Lewis is the other running back that's dinged up.
There you go.
But yes, that makes sense. I wanted to get in there. It just didn't happen. I wanted to get a ground attack for Purdue. It just didn't happen because I stayed in this Carolina game. Omarion Hampton, the big time recruit. He's a stud running back. And as much as Mike Elko, I think, is a great defensive coach, he's going to put his players in the best spot. I still think you could be in the best spot, but when you're going up against the talent level of North Carolina, you are going to lose. And Omarion Hampton has been playing pretty fucking good. 6 touchdowns on the season, averaging just about 5 yards a carry. So give me Omarion Hampton at 5,800.
I like it.
Go.
On the other side, Duke has like 3 good running backs, but a couple of them are banged up and they're not committing to one of them specifically. So even though I like what the Duke running game could do against UNC, I didn't know who to go with. I didn't know who's going to play. So I steered clear of that. Moving on to wide receiver, same game. I'm going to go lock it up, or I keep on saying lock it up, stack it up with Drake May, Josh Downs. He still hasn't had like a big, we know he's one of the best receivers in the country. He hasn't had like a monster game yet. I'm wondering if this might be it. 7.8K, Josh Downs.
He's a great player, but hasn't had that monster game. There's better 7 point what?
7.8K. Who you got?
Well, Charlie, not Charlie Joyner, not Charlie Taylor, but Charlie Jones. All right.
Not Charlie Garner.
Yeah. This guy's a fucking beast. $7,500. You load up on him. I know Nebraska's pass defense is much better than their rush defense. Doesn't matter. Brom finds creative ways to get his skill position players the ball. He's going to do it. Charlie Jones, 7,500.
My problem with him is that he's been on a decline. First 3 games of this year, he was absolutely crushing it. Last 3 games, starting with the third most recent game, 9 for 59, then 6 for 55, and last week 3 for 15. I don't know exactly what's going on there. I know he's buddies with the quarterback O'Connell, who I rostered. So I hope Charlie Jones has a good day because that means.
Are you hypothesizing that he fucked his girlfriend or something?
I don't know what's going on there. All I'm saying is that he's not getting quite the catches he was early in the year. He has a very high ceiling, and I think a lot of people will be scared off of him this week. So maybe it is a good time to jump back on Charlie Jones. But I'm going to give it a week, so I didn't roster him.
Well, let's go.
The next person
Downs against Jones. That's the bourbon.
Downs against Jones. Bring it on, man. Let's do it.
Because you had the money to do it.
We already had a 1 bottle of bourbon on this game. That was O'Connell against Leonard. But if you want a second, let's do it, man.
All right.
Or how about the best? The bet is my lineup against yours. All right,
that's a good point.
2 guys left. I'm gonna go back. I needed pieces of that ECU offense, buddy, and I like what Isaiah Winstead is doing. You got him too? Oh, you're
yes.
Up. Homer,
my Pirates.
Homer alert!
You can't take my fucking Pirates. All right, they're my Pirates. Look at the shirt, baby. East Carolina represent.
Dude, I'm 1 hour away. You're like 80 hours away.
No. You're 1 hour away, but I'm always there. All right. I'll do a fucking Jaeger bomb right now. All right.
Dude, Winstead's a transfer. Did he transfer from Toledo? Where did he transfer from?
Yeah, Toledo.
He is crushing it, man. He's had some
Blitnikoff watch list. I just saw the Blitnikoff watch list added him to the list.
The fact that he's only 5.8K, I think is a steal.
Yeah, 43 catches, 565 yards. Get the fucking guy the ball. Oh, what just happened in this? Wow, did they go for 2 or what happened? They block a kick.
Oh,
this is crazy.
Blocked a. Oh, okay. Well, hey, so that might be good for our 3.5.
I'm
anyway,
so confused.
So they blocked the extra point.
Okay. There we go. We're alive. Okay. Let's go.
So my last guy, he caught last week. You were making fun of the pick. He went 11 for 118, 2 touchdowns. Best tight end in the nation, Michael Mayer, 5.6K. Sign me up again.
The question is are they going to be beating Stanford by enough where they just run the rock?
Yeah, game script might be a concern, but come on, if there's ever a game for a big white tight end to have a big game, it's Notre Dame versus Stanford. Come on.
True. That's a very good point. All right. Well, look, that's my whole lineup, right?
Didn't you have one more? No, you're done.
Hold on. No, because I had 3 running backs. Yeah, I gave away my lineup. My lineup's better than your lineup.
There you go. All right.
Come play DFS with us. Once again at TCE on SGPN, we invite the link is tweeted out for you to come. All right, come to the party. All right, don't bring no soft ass drinks like Patty C normally does. All right, so this guy brings like a bottle of champagne over in the morning.
Oh, champagne.
Yeah, and like a $3 bottle of champagne, like a fucking Andre.
Mimosas?
Yeah, I'm like, what's going on here, dude?
Tell me, Patty C doesn't do White Claws. Does he?
I don't know. He probably does. Anyway, folks, subscribe to the College Football Experience and tell a friend. We got the FCS preview coming later tonight, so stick around. Talk some FCS it is in my opinion the best week of the season for the FCS thus far. Just some great matchups, obviously highlighted by South Dakota State at North Dakota State in the Fargo Dome. But check out that pod. Give NC Nick a follow on Twitter at NC__NICK. Give myself a follow on Twitter at TCE on it. I'm sorry, at the Colby D, and the College Football Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Get over to iTunes, please. Give us a 5-star review. It takes a minute out of your day, folks. Help me help you. All right. Subscribe to the Sports Gambling Podcast. Subscribe on YouTube to the College Football Experience. YouTube.com/the College Experience. And yeah. Check out the College Basketball Experience. Previews are really starting to roll over there right now as the season is less than a month away.
Oh, man.
Yes. I'm super excited to talk college hoops. We do it every year. We don't just cover college football. We also cover college basketball. All right. And college baseball. So get in there, check it all out, folks. Subscribe to the College Basketball Experience. Check out all the other great platforms on the SGPN app. Get the app for free in the App Store or Google Play Store. It is free. What do you got? No excuses. Right now, what do we got going on? We got NFL Gambling Podcast, NBA Gambling Podcast, NHL Gambling Podcast, CFL, the Race to the Grey Cup. You got MLB Gambling Podcast. Games are happening. Playoffs are heating up. Soccer Gambling Podcast, because you got the World Cup coming in November, but also the MLS playoffs. Check out the MLS Gambling Podcast. We got you covered on all this. MMA Gambling Podcast, whatever your sport, you get that for free, folks. So check it all out. And yeah, let's enjoy a great week. All righty, folks. This is the College Football Experience Week 7 DFS show. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
What the fuck did I do wrong?
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
And you hung in with the best college football team in the land.
It's easy to see a tide turn.
Our football team ranked in the top 10 in the last 8 years. One whip. 3-yard whip.
Nothing is over! Nothing! You just don't turn it off!
The best looking man, the best dressed man. Long limousine, jet airplane,